People say I ain't no good, and I'm crazy as a loon. Cause I shave my head in the morning, pick guitar in the afternoon. Just like old Chief and Charlie, I like to lay around in the shade. Well, I ain't got no money, but you better believe I got it made. Cause I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, just leave this bald-headed country boy alone.
Sponsor time. Let me tell you about my girl, Miss Erica, with Crooked W Consulting. She has a small marketing and design agency out of North Carolina. She offers small, affordable business solutions that tailor your business and startups nationwide. She's currently doing my new website. I'm telling you, folks, you need to let her do yours. She's doing us a jam-up job. She also offers digital marketing, graphic design, and social media management. If I'm using her here at the studio, there ain't no reason why your small business shouldn't. Look her up on Facebook and Instagram at Crooked W Consulting, or text her now at 919-351-2084. Crooked W Consulting. Hit up Miss Erica now. You won't be disappointed. Shout out to Miss Mary, the owner of Buckaroo Tattoo in Wheatland, California. Email her now at buckarootat, and then the number 2 at yahoo.com to make an appointment. Hit her up on Instagram at buckarootat, then the number 2, or at Ink in My Glove on Facebook at Buckaroo Tat. She's been tattooing some badass tattoos for the past 13 years at her shop. And let me tell you, she is literally flying here at the beginning of March to tattoo me for a couple days and record some shows with me. So if I'm using her and I'm letting her tattoo the shit out of me and she's sponsoring this show, boy, y'all need to look her up right now. Make your appointment with her. You ain't gonna be disappointed at all. She is grown. I can't wait. Shout out to Buckaroo Tattoo and Miss Mary. Go look them up on all social media platforms. Now, cowboy stuff. My buddy, old friend, Chris Sapp, owner of Desperado and Company, over at the Puller Tanger Outlet Mall. They are in Suite 611. They offer all kind of Western wear. Boots, toddlers, youth, women's, men's, everything. They have Ariat wallets, phone cases, men and women's jewelry, Montana silversmith, belt buckles, Ariat belts for men. They offer Clinch. Ariat and Wrangler are their main brands of clothes. Lots of exotic boots. Guys, I saw some of the stuff that they're bringing me and some of the stuff I get to try on. Let me tell you, there's a lot of great Western wear places that are up in Nashville that I get to go to. This place compares to every single one of them. So what I need you guys to do is look up Desperado and Company, Chris Sapp. Their phone number is 912-604-0389. Go check them out. Get all turquoise the hell up. Get all westerned up. Look like a cowboy, cowgirl. Western fashion is the coolest shit to me, by the way. And the fact that they're on board as a sponsor now, I can't wait to try on some of the stuff that he has sent me and everything that they have sent me in pictures to get my size in. Dude, it's all banging. It's all awesome. So look up Desperado and Company now. Mr. Chris Sapp, once again, the Puller Tanger Outlet Mall, Suite 611. Let's give a quick shout out to Nobles Networking. Guys, if you're looking for a new internet provider, they hook me up here at the studio and at my house. If you live out in the country and you can't find nowhere else where to get your internet, or you're paying too much for Hargrave or any of that other shit, look up Nobles Networking. 478-308-0596. You are going to love it. I'm telling you, it works great for me. It runs everything here at the studio at my house perfectly. Hit up Nobles Networking. Let me tell you guys about the baddest insurance agent around these parts, Miss Jenna Carr. She's an alpha insurance agent. She handles home, auto, life, and business. She's located in Macon, Georgia at 3312 Northside Drive, Suite C160. Let me tell you about Miss Jenna. Not only is she just the sweetest, cutest damn thing you ever seen, but she takes care of business like a true professional. I love dealing with her. She's done got me hooked up with life insurance because, let's be honest, I'm going to need it. And every time I've ever dealt with her, a complete pleasure. So, y'all do me a favor now. Give her a call and go look her up on social media. Jenna Carr, Alpha Insurance Agency. And that phone number in Macon is 478-621-7065. Tell her that you need the same package, home, life, auto, all that good stuff that she hooked me up with. It's prom season, and let me tell you, if I was still in high school, I know exactly where I would go to get my tux because I like flashy. I like loud. I like obnoxious clothing. If you ever see the stuff I wear out in Macon, Nashville, wherever the hell I go, to be honest with you, I like to be seen as much as I am heard. And Miss Vicky over at Dolly's Delights showed me the other day a company that she's ordering from now that had the loudest and most obnoxiously good-looking tuxes. Fellas, if you're trying to turn heads and you're in high school, Dolly's Delights is where the hell you need to be. So moms and dads, take your boys over there. And while you're over there, get some of that good candy. Make sure you satisfy that sweet tooth. It's the best place to do it. You're not going to find anybody better to deal with, and not to mention she's got the best prices around. That's Dolly's Delights, located at 5122 3rd Avenue, Eastman, Georgia. Call her at 478-231-7237. Dolly's Delights. Let me tell you about Lori's Dive-In in Alamo, Georgia. I ran her ad several times now. She's been with me since I started doing this stuff. Well, I'm doing a live show there February the 15th. She's going to feed me. I'm going to take a couple of my friends with me from social media there, probably around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So if any of y'all would like to come hang out, please do. Even if it's not convenient for you, take some time, go out of your way, and go eat there. I promise you won't be disappointed. She takes pride in her staff, her food, her service, every single aspect. That's why I'm taking my equipment there to actually record with her and her staff. So please go check out Lori's Dive-In in Alamo, Georgia at 18 Commerce Street, Alamo, Georgia. Phone number there is 912-568-1945. Lori's Dive-In. I'm about tired of reading all these sponsors, but I'm grateful for each and every one of them. But I saved my homegirl for last. Let me tell you about Miss Reagan, who's getting me in shape right now. I need each and every one of y'all to go look her up on Instagram at RAEGAN_fit. She does one-on-one customized meal planning, nutrition guides, and training in home or at the gym. I know she stays on my ass, so I know she'll stay on yours. Look, this is the thing with Reagan. She's lost the weight, she's stayed in shape, and now she's helping people do the same thing that she did. And she did it the healthy way. She can help you lose body fat, gain muscle, or just improve your overall health. Whatever your goal is, she'll help you with it. I promise that. And the thing is, she holds you accountable in a way that most people don't. She's very affordable, and she offers weekly and monthly payments. So please, go look up my homegirl, Miss Reagan, at RAEGAN_fit on Instagram. Now, let's get to the show. Thank y'all for tuning into the Josh Terry podcast. Hope all y'all are having a good day. We've had some fun on some shows lately, from playmates to country artists. Today, we're going to have a little bit more of a serious show, but y'all know, if nothing else, I love talking about mental health awareness and I came across this young lady. It was by accident, honestly. Somebody tagged her in a video thinking that she was somebody else, and I looked at her social media. She's a veteran. She's got an amazing story. I'm not even going to tell y'all all about it. I'm going to let her tell most of the damn thing. But I want to introduce y'all to Miss Natalee King. Thank you for taking some time on a Sunday to hang out with me, darling.
Thank you for having me on.
Anytime. I just want you to know, I thought it was random, so weird, and I can't even remember who uh who the girl was. I've done so many shows now that when somebody tagged you in the post of her from the episode that I did with that girl, I was like,
Mhm.
I had to go back and look and even see what that episode was about. I thought it could have been you for a second. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like it really confused the shit out of me for a second. And then automatically, and not to be weird or anything, I saw a hot blonde. I clicked on the hot blonde automatically, and then I saw everything on your little profile there, and I was like,
Right.
okay, cool. I'm definitely fixing to be like, okay, this is somebody right off the bat that interests me, that has a great story. And then the second we mean you messaged back and forth, I was like, getting her on the show as soon as possible.
Yes, it was awesome. It was so random. That girl tagged me, thought it was me, and I was like, "That's not me, but I'm gonna check out this guy's page." And I was like, "Wow, cool."
Yeah, I can't. For the life of me, I can't even remember what the fuck that show was about. I, I think that girl has like what is it called? She's constantly sick.
Oh,
Like,
hypochondriac.
yeah, but she's actually sick though. Like it's
Oh,
just
she's really sick.
yeah, like I think I even liked her. I think she was cool. Like her and her husband were cool as shit. But I think she was one of those. I have a lot of shows that we do. We talk one time, we do the episode, never speak again.
Mhm.
Like I think she was one of those. I can't remember her
Yeah.
name. She was sweet. I don't remember shit about it. It just confused the shit out of me when you got tagged in it. I'm glad you got tagged in it though. Is the
Me
point.
too. I
It
am too.
is the point. So everybody knows I love my veterans. I love the organizations I get to work with and all that kind of stuff. I think we should start there. I think we should start with the fact that you served our country. Thank you very, very much for that.
Thank you.
You grew up as a military brat too, right?
I did. Both my parents were active duty. That's how they met. They were MPs in the Army. And then my mom went to the Air National Guard so she could take care of the kids and work. And then my dad became a helicopter rescue swimmer in the Coast Guard.
That's cool. Where
And
did
then my brother and my sister were both in. My sister was Air Force. My brother is active duty Coast Guard right now. And then I was Air Force. So my whole family was in the military.
That's awesome. Well, thank each and every one of your family members. We need more
Thank
families like y'all,
you. Yeah.
and not just pieces of shit like me. Uh,
Please.
yeah. Trust me, I'm lazy. I'm too. If I could go back now, I'm not saying that I would do it. I wish I would have the balls to do it. I don't know if I would. I like talking and being too lazy. I don't know. I should never say I wouldn't or would. I don't want to ever take it away from the people that actually do.
Right.
So let's how long did you serve?
So I didn't serve very long. I got out early when my husband was killed in 2013. Him and I were both U.S. Air Force. We met in Japan. We got married in Japan, and I became pregnant with a little boy. And we moved to Maryland at Joint Base Andrews. And in 2013, when our son was 8 months old, he was killed in the line of duty. It was an on-base accident. He was when you have a GOV, a government vehicle, you have to always have a spotter to move it. My husband was spotting a vehicle. It was a rare vehicle that not a lot of men or women are trained on. It was also a stick shift, and the airman that was driving this vehicle to park it, he wasn't trained on it, and he didn't know how to drive it. He said in the investigation report, he said his foot slipped and it pinned my husband against a wall, and it hit him about from the sternum down. And pretty much, I think he was gone fairly quickly.
Damn, I'm
It
sorry,
was a
darling.
rough day. I'll never forget that day that I got that knock on the door.
I've got to introduce you to somebody. and she is going to kick my ass for not remembering her name off the top of my head.
I'm
There's
so bad with names too, though.
I'm horrible. I'm horrible with names. She's been on the show twice. Same thing. Her husband passed in the line of duty, and she ended up going viral because Donald Trump. It was just like a weird time, or just a coincidence, is what I mean. They were at his funeral, and her little boy I guess it was a flag, if I'm remembering. It's a little flag, putting it on his
Mhm.
daddy's grave, and Trump happens to be at the same cemetery,
That
and
is amazing.
and walks up, and he just hugs the little boy. Like, it's like a cool, just whatever moment, like spontaneous
I
moment.
love that stuff. That gave me chills.
Yeah, like and like she ended up just like, and she's a wonderful person. Like, she's a really sweetheart of a person, but you could tell, like, it the whatever she went through, it was a mistake. It was an accident. What happened to her husband as well, and you could tell, like, she said the same thing. It's something she'll never. I mean, I guess nobody's ever gonna forget that shit anyway. But
Right.
but yeah, I would like to hook y'all up. Then
I would love to.
I,
I'm always looking for people to connect with um similar stories as mine.
yeah.
It's real hard to do it alone. I remember in the first few years I felt so alone in my grief. Like, I was 23 years old, first time mom. I just had my future ripped from me, and what I needed most was a community. And that's why I started sharing on social media, so that I could have a community of people going through similar things.
Yeah, I don't believe, this is going to sound so ass backwards. I don't believe in therapy. I believe in support systems.
Mhm.
I don't like therapists, and just the fact that I don't want somebody that I don't feel like has gone through what I've been through telling me how to feel about shit.
I get that. I
It just don't make fucking sense to me. I want people that seem like they're just as fucked up as I am.
Right, right. I want people to
Yeah, yeah,
understand.
that's what I want you to sit across from me and be like, been through it, know exactly how you feel. Now
Mhm.
let's get through it together. Let's let
Right,
let's help each other feel better.
right.
I always say, like, I'm a Christian. I'm not a very good one, but I'm a Christian. I don't believe in organized religion. I believe it's your own personal relationship with God. That's all.
Mm,
That's all that matters. And,
same.
and the reason why I don't want to go to church and stuff no more is because I don't ever go down the road that they're hypocrites, but I don't need somebody that looks squeaky clean
Mhm.
telling me how I'm supposed to believe in God, or what my God is. And I think it's the same way with mental health or trauma or anybody. I don't need you looking all perfect in your fucking pleated khakis telling me how I'm supposed to feel. You got a fucking sweater vest on,
Right.
and you're telling me how I'm supposed to feel. Please kiss my big fat ass.
Yes, I feel the same thing with everything that I've done in life, all the mistakes I've made. I
Yeah.
always think I have my own relationship with God, but I always think, like, I could never go into and be in a structured religion after everything that I've been through. I don't know how to explain it. It's hard. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
I don't. Yeah, I get it. I don't think you ever have to explain it though.
Yeah.
Like, that's the beautiful side of it. If you believe in what you believe in, that's all you got to believe. You don't have to convince me. You don't have to convince anybody else. It's your
Right.
relationship. That's what makes sense to you. That's all faith is anyway. Is
Right.
is your understanding.
Absolutely.
And the second that anybody else tries to convince you fucking otherwise,
Hmm.
they're assholes to me. Don't tell
I
me.
know it.
Don't tell me what to do. Um, but well, that'll kind of lead us into the next thing. When you lost your husband, you kind of went down some bad days.
Right. So I'll back up. So I have addiction issues that run in my family, mental health issues. My sister, she was in the Air Force, but she actually died from an overdose in 2008. I was 18 years old, and I remember like I remember them bringing her down in the body bag,
Mm,
and um, they unzipped her. My mom and dad were there, and they unzipped her down to her chest. And I just remember my mom and dad crying and screaming and kissing all over her. And that probably hurt me almost more than the actual death of my sister, just seeing how much pain my parents were in. And so after my sister died, that's when I joined the military. And then my husband passed away. And when my husband passed away, I gave up. Um, the military doctors, they prescribed me Xanax pretty much right away when my husband passed. I remember going to his viewing and everything, medicated. Well, I started getting addicted to Xanax. My tolerance went up. I started taking more, and by the time the end of the month came around, my bottle would be empty. So I would have to be forced to buy out on the street, online, doctor shop. I mean, it was rough. I've been to rehab a few times. I've had a couple suicide attempts in my addiction. I signed my son over voluntarily to my mom and dad because they thought I wouldn't make it out of my addiction. And I started hanging with the wrong people. And towards the end of my addiction, I was shooting meth. And that's when I realized I was at rock bottom. Um, uh, it was rough. It was so rough. I don't even know how to explain it to for people to really grasp the pain and everything and the sickness that you go through in addiction. But I ended up meeting a guy. We went on a date, and he knew my husband from high school. He was in the Army himself. He had just gotten out of the Army. And so he knew me a little bit, but not much. The first night we hung out together, I was high on Xanax and I ended up passing out. He brought me to my parents' house, made sure I got home okay. And he started talking to my parents about my addiction and how to get me sober and everything. My parents said they'd been trying for years, that there was no hope, and they didn't know what to do. So this guy, he said, he offered to help. He said, let me see what if I can help get her clean. I can tell she doesn't want to live this way. I can tell she has potential and all this stuff. Well, he ended up staying with me. We fell in love. It took me 2 years to get sober off of all these drugs because I tapered myself down slowly. So it took about 2 years to fully get off of anything. And I've been with this guy ever since. We've been together for 7 years this year. And I owe him my life. I really, really do. He got me out of that dark place. And I'm so grateful for that. However, I was always afraid that, I would go back into my old ways if a tragedy happened or something significant happened in my life. And it kind of became a reality when my my brother called me saying my dad shot himself in the head, but he survived. He lost his right eyeball, but he lived. And that's when I moved my father into my home and took care of him. He had ALS. This is why he shot himself in the head, because his body was deteriorating and he couldn't put up with it anymore. He said he was in a lot of pain. And in Texas and in Florida, there isn't legalized medically assisted suicide. It's not legal here. He would have to go up to like Washington or somewhere like that. And so that's why he did that. And so I took care of him for months. And in February of 21, he ended up passing away from ALS. And, I'm so thankful and blessed to be here today to say that I've remained out of a depression. I've remained in recovery, and I haven't had any setbacks, even through my father's death, the pain of my father's death. And I share that online with people today because I want to build a community of people that understand, that are going through complicated grief, and ways to help them. And I also share ways that help my mental health today. I do meditation, I do breathing exercises. I am on mental health medication. I still take antidepressants to this day. But if that's the only thing that came out of my addiction was to have to take a medication once a day, then I feel very blessed because I could have lost my life. And I feel grateful today.
You're a badass for just still being here. Just know that.
Thank you.
And staying clean.
Thank you so much.
Hey, look, I come from a home of a lot of drug abuse. A lot.
Mhm.
Like my sister been in and out of rehab for like the longest time. She's clean and sober now, living with a cult. But
Oh, oh gosh.
I would rather her be in a cult though than doing meth. Like
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah, I give her a lot of shit about her lifestyle now, but I'd much rather her be with the people that she's with now than what the fuck she was doing. And
Absolutely.
I'm fine with that. Like it's a joke, and my mom and dad hate when I joke about it. Like I'm pretty sure they've told me 100 times, if you say cult on your show one more time, we're gonna disown you. But that's what the fuck it is. This was a weird community, but they love Jesus a lot, like a weird amount. But I don't know if you can love Jesus too much. But this is kind of weird.
Oh, that's funny.
But,
Hey,
but
I
she's
do
not doing
too.
meth. I don't care.
That's perfect. Hey, my family has some dark humor too.
Yeah.
My brother makes fun of me all the time. He's a successful helicopter rescue swimmer, saves people for a living, and here I am, an ex-junkie with no job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I make fun of all the time.
I think it's okay to do that though. Like I think
It is.
I
You
think
have to laugh in life.
yeah, like it's the
Like
shit has already happened.
when my dad shot himself in the head, and my brother and I went to go see him for the first time, and we realized he was okay, and he was alive. The first thing my brother said to my dad was, "Man, I thought you were a better shot."
Yeah, it's fucked up, but it's funny.
My dad started cracking up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in when something happens, you either got two choices. It either happens to you or it happened for you.
Exactly.
Why the fuck not? This is everything's about perspective in life.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
yeah, it's either I don't know. As stupid as it sounds, glass half full or glass half empty. Every single situation is how you want to handle it.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that you are still being strong in everything that you've been through, that would have crippled most people.
It did cripple me. It did cripple me for many years, but it took a lot of inner healing to find peace. So,
Yeah. You're one of those people that I absolutely love because you didn't let your trauma define you. You've pretty much defined your trauma.
right.
And I love that. I love when fucking people do that, man.
And
If it wasn't for, like, even in my case, if it wasn't for my suicide attempt back in 2010, if it wasn't for the bad moments in my life, I'm not who I am today.
right.
My good moments didn't make me who I am.
No.
There's not a single good thing that happened in my life that I can say, well, besides my daughter. My daughter's
Right,
the only
of
thing.
course.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Besides children, but
the bad shit has made me who I am.
absolutely.
And I love that. I was meant to be battle scarred. I was meant to be kind of broken, my armor chipped. I was meant
Right.
to be that. I don't want to be the perfect kid. And if I would have
Nope.
been, I've said it time and time again. You got warriors in this world and you got preachers. A preacher's supposed to be squeaky clean, and he's supposed to be where nobody ever doubts whatever. He's supposed to just be the example to the people that need a perfect example. And then you
Right.
got people like me and you that we're supposed to look like shit sometimes.
Right.
But when you talk to us and we can still say the same thing that a preacher says about our faith, we just might say it in a fucked up way.
Right.
You're still going to hear that we love the same thing.
Absolutely.
And I think that there's something really cool about that. I think that there's something special about that. And
Definitely.
and there's just a different way. There's different ways to reach people. And unfortunately, you have to go through shit like you've been through to reach certain people that need to hear your
Right.
You wouldn't have went through what you've went through if the good Lord didn't know you could fucking handle it.
I know. That's what I say all the time. I say that to my mother all the time. I'm like, I think God knew what he was doing
Yeah.
by giving me a son from my husband. And he has a namesake. My son's name is John James King III. So he's like, and it changes every other generation, the middle name. So he's really like John King V. But I was so blessed to be able to pass that down before my husband died, and seeing my husband in my son every day. He's 10 now, and the older he gets, the more he looks like him. And it's just, God knew I needed that. before he took away my husband. And I say that all the time. God knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he doesn't make mistakes.
No.
The only time that we make mistakes is when we try to figure out why what happened. Like when you stop looking at situations as in why did this happen to me, and you start looking at it as in did this happen for me?
Right.
Like I quit doing that a long fucking time ago. Even on my bad days, like when something stupid happens, I just take it with a smile now. When something just comes out of nowhere and knocks me on my ass, instead of me getting upset or me getting pissed or losing my fucking mind that day about it, I'm just like, you know what? If I handle this with grace, it's gonna turn out okay. Because I don't know why this is happening, but there's probably a good fucking reason why this is happening. If I get upset and show my ass, I love the example. You ever stubbed your pinky toe?
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you ever stubbed your pinky toe and then you threw a bitch fit when it happened, because everybody does, and you hit your
Oh yeah, it hurts.
and you hit your fucking elbow on the door or something because
no.
you stubbed your pinky toe and you was throwing a scene, you hurt yourself because you were showing your ass. Like,
Right.
if you would have just calmed the fuck down when you initially hurt yourself and just chilled,
Right.
and just took a step back and a breath, you would have
And
been
if you
fine.
notice, if you take a step back and notice these times when you get upset, a lot of times it's not even a big deal.
No.
And that's why when I always live by this saying, if it's not going to matter in 5 minutes, or if it's not going to matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes on it. So that goes with everything. That goes with, if you're upset about somebody, it makes you upset, it's not going to matter in 5 years. Don't spend more than 5 minutes. If you're arguing with your partner, it's not going to matter in 5 years. Don't spend more than 5 minutes on it. I love that saying, and I always live by that.
Yeah, a lot more people need that in their lives.
Right.
Yeah. Pick and choose your battles.
Absolutely.
I'm a single man, but I'm telling you that I've never been married. I'm weird about marriage. Like my grandparents spoiled me on it. I know what a marriage is supposed to be. And then when I find the person I want to settle down with, I'm doing it one time. I don't knock anybody that's done it multiple times or whatever. I'm doing it one time, and I'm just weird about it. But
that's how I always felt. I was the same way. I didn't believe in divorce. My parents were married for like 47 years before my dad passed. And so I grew up with a mom and dad, and I always thought, I'm going to do it once. And when my husband died, the military, my son and I receive benefits. We receive health insurance. My son gets his college. I get college because I'm a vet too. But in the long run, I forgot where I lost track, but I lost track what I was thinking. I do this all the time.
I'm the same way.
But yeah, we would have lost. I can't remarry unless my son and I will lose all our benefits. I can't remarry till like age 63 or something.
Yeah.
Not that I really plan to remarry, but it's just the fact that 23 years old and you're told that you can never remarry again, or else you and your son would lose basically your whole livelihood. It's hard to hear, but as a woman, at least. But I don't know. I never thought about what I would do if I lost a spouse. I always thought like, oh, what if I got divorced? I never thought about what I would do after losing a spouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's something that I don't think anybody ever thinks about.
And being so young too, you just don't talk about death, and you didn't have any plans set up. Like, at least now in my life, my man and I have plans set up, what to do if one of us were to die. But at 23, I didn't have any of that. So, it was horrible. My body went into shock that day. I remember everything. It was horrible. It's amazing what like emotional trauma can do to your body, not just physical trauma, but emotional trauma really puts your body, it traumatizes your body. I remember falling to the ground and vomiting and stuff, like I was sick.
Ugh.
And I was just from shock. It's amazing how the body reacts.
Well, it's really weird if you ever look up the stuff, because I'm big on like, I don't take any type of antidepressants or anything. I know I get why some people do, but I'm more into not the spiritual's the wrong word. I like the more natural stuff. Like
Holistic.
yeah, like I want the stuff that I just don't believe in opioids. I think that it's something that's going to lead to you having a reliance on something. I don't like the word addiction. I like to save that for things like you've been through, like
Right.
bad shit, right?
But
Have you
dependence, right?
a dependence? Yeah, like you're always going to have that unless you correct the problem. And there's things you can do, like just even like I was telling you about creative vets. There's stuff like that if you find an outlet for your mental health stuff, hopefully
Absolutely.
one day you don't have to take the opioids. One day you don't have to take the pills. Like, have you ever looked into microdosing mushrooms?
I have actually. That's so weird that you say that. My man and I have been talking about that. Yes.
Fucking wonderful.
Yes.
It is amazing. I know why growing up they taught like the government, and I'm a big conspiracy theory person anyway, but I
Hmm.
know why. If you go, there's like a documentary on Netflix, it's something fungus, I can't remember what it's called. There's a reason why back in the 50s when people started looking into the benefits of it, why the government said nope, we're not fucking doing this. And it's because they're so good for you. It's the only thing that repairs synapses or whatever
Well,
it is in the brain.
Big
Yeah,
Pharma would lose so much money if we
that's
had medicine like
yeah,
that cured things.
yeah,
They'd be broke. So of
yeah.
course they do that.
Yeah. Well, I've done it. I've done it probably 4 or 5 times now
Hmm.
in the past 2 years. I don't do it often. Let me tell you, it is. It just opens you up.
I read something that a woman did it with her partner, and she wrote this whole thing about it, how it brought them closer together. They just had these deep conversations, and
Yeah,
it was really interesting.
yeah. I had a buddy of mine. I'm not going to out his ass. So I know he's going to listen to this. He's an EMT. So he knew the exact dosage to take, like the exact amount to take to where you don't hallucinate,
Hmm.
but you get the good benefits of it. Like you
Right.
get what you're supposed to get of it. So anytime I've done it with an EMT that knew exactly what I was supposed to do. And let me tell you, it's like you've never seen the world before. Like your depression, your anxiousness, your everything melts away.
Wow.
And you just the last time I did it was at our 2-year anniversary of the show. And I had some people here playing music. There's a lot of folks at the studio hanging out and all this kind of stuff. And I ended up going outside because while like it makes you realize certain things, I
Hmm.
realized I did not have to be in the party anymore to enjoy myself. But it was like that was a metaphor for life.
Hmm.
It let me know I didn't have to be the center of attention. I didn't have to be on center stage to be happy. Like I
It was
could,
like an awakening or
yeah,
something.
I could be on the outside looking in and still be just as happy. I didn't have to be loud. I didn't have to be obnoxious. I didn't have to do things I didn't want to do to be a happy person. And let me tell you, like it's like you realize shit about yourself. And
Yeah.
I would never want to do anything because my fucking head is so loopy inside of it. I would never want to hallucinate. I would never want to trip and see shit. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to go down that road. There's no telling what my fucking brain will
You
put
know,
out there.
I've never done mushrooms myself, but
Yeah.
like my brother has, my husband or my man, whatever. I call him my husband, but he has, and I'm scared to do it because
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to hallucinate. I'm kind of scared about that. But if you do the microdoses and do it
Yeah.
safely and therapeutically, I mean, I've heard it has great benefits.
Yeah, there's if you even want to look it up, I think it's HBO Sports, maybe. I think that's what it was. There's there's a study going around now for MMA fighters and ex-football players that have bad concussions and all this stuff to where they're punch drunk or they're just fucked up in the head, like bad PTSD, like just horrible. And they're doing ayahuasca. You know what ayahuasca is?
I've never heard of that.
Ayahuasca is like a Native American thing that it's pretty much mushrooms, but it's like a very strong form of it. And these guys are literally all the damage that has been done to their brain after they do ayahuasca a couple times, it's gone.
Really?
It literally repairs your brain. One of my real good friends, if you don't already follow her on social media, you need to. Her name's Damaris. It's that stepmom life on TikTok and everything. She's fucking awesome. But her husband James, he's a veteran. Worked in the coal mines too. Like, dude's had it rough. Very bad PTSD. He's doing ketamine treatments now.
Hey, I was going to ask you about that next. I've heard ketamine helps with depression.
Fuck, dude, he raves about it. And we've had people on the show from Mission 22, and they say that it is just wonderful.
Really?
Yeah, people are figuring out now, like, all the shit that they've told us for forever was just so bad for you. It's because fucking Big Pharma wanted you to take pills.
I know.
And
I know it.
And that's all it is. And now everybody's like, no, fuck that. Like, we're over that.
Realizing that what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's a scam. It really is.
Yeah.
And I believe they have a cure for cancer and they won't tell us. I know they do.
You know how many presidents or vice presidents have died, or their wives have died from cancer? Zero.
Huh. See how
yeah. You ever heard of a billionaire dying from cancer?
No, actually.
Yeah, you're not. You're not going to hear their wives. You're not going to hear their loved ones. There's a cure for everything.
Yeah, there is.
There's literally, from as stupid as it is, from cancer to fucking herpes to everything. Everything has been engineered.
Yes,
and everything has been put out there, so you have to take a pill.
Yep. Everything. And they want to keep you on those pills. That's how they get their money.
Yeah. Even sugar. I got one for you. All right. So I used to be like 350 pounds, or not 350, like 330. I'm like 230 now. But like, do you know how many cases of early onset diabetes there was like in 1900? Or like, what is it? Like 1920, I think is the thing.
Well, I would think hardly any at all.
Hardly any. Like, I think there's 100 cases, recorded cases in the United States. Now there's millions. They started putting processed sugar in everything in like 1930s or some shit like that. And if you go look on the back of like your packages and shit of your food that you eat, they don't even list like your daily percentages, where it has everything that you need on the back of your labels.
Yep.
Actually, I got Gatorade right here. It'll have it right here. It has your daily percentages of what you need. This is how fucked up the country that we live in. It's got total fats, 0, your percentage. The only thing on the back of all your shit that it does not have your daily percentage is your sugars, because you're only supposed to have 36 grams of sugar a day. Everything else fucking damn near kills you after that.
It has like 20 something grams in it.
It's horrible for you. And then trust me, I drink a lot of whiskey and I have a lot of fun. So I'm not a health nut by any means. It's just, I know
they're putting things in there to kill us. I believe that, I mean, the government's experimenting on us. That's what they're doing. Yeah. They have been. I mean, think about it. America is a 200-year-old experiment. This was an experiment. We're obviously a successful one so far, but you know, anything can fall in just like that.
Yeah, that's where I'm telling you, the microdosing, it opens you up to that. So, like, as weird as it is, it makes you just realize, like, I don't need this shit.
Right.
Like, it's from everything. It's almost like you you almost feel like a lab rat when
Yes.
after you've done it a couple of times. It's like, okay, so you're telling me I have to teach my child to go to school every day, then they have to get a job, they have to then have kids, they have to keep doing all this and this and this,
Mm,
and it's just so they can make somebody else money.
right.
Like,
It's
why aren't we
it
teaching
doesn't
our
make sense.
yeah, why aren't we teaching our kids to be individuals? Why aren't we teaching people to do what they love?
Exactly.
That's what life should be about. You should be every single opportunity you get. You got one life. I mean, you unfortunately know it better than anybody. Life
Right.
is short. You should be
So
doing
short.
you should be enjoying yourself every day. You shouldn't be getting caught up on the little shit. You should be
Right.
having fun and making yourself and the people that you love happy every
Happy.
day and not worried about it. If you know how many people I know that are broke as fuck but are happy because
I know. Right.
they living the life that they want to live.
They're comfortable, and they have their family.
Yeah.
That's what makes me happy.
Yeah, I've got so many buddies that are musicians and they're struggling musicians. But you know what? They're happy because they get to get up every day and do what the fuck they
Do what they
love.
love. Right.
And
What it's all
they're not
about.
worried. Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Uh fuck yeah, it is. So what else do you do? Like besides for just being such a very positive person and and helping people get through their bullshit on social media and trying to make you make you just have a very bubbly personality. And I do you counsel folks like one-on-one or anything like that?
I No, I don't. I have looked into like substance abuse counseling and things like that. I mean, I'd have to go to school for it, which I could do. But all I do is share it online right now. I want to write a book, and
You
yeah, I
definitely
sit down
should.
yeah, I would love to write a book. I've looked into like opening a nonprofit for Gold Star families who there's a lot of like support out there for suicide awareness. Like there's 22 a day, there's combat related um, support, but there's not a whole lot for like military accidents in the line of duty deaths. And so I was looking into opening a nonprofit for that. Just different things. Nothing set in stone, but right now I just take it by day. Social media is not my full-time thing. I kind of half-ass that and post and post when I feel something that I need to share. But yeah, I mean, that's mainly what I do. I just try to stay busy and uh keep my mental health in check. And I think sharing my journey and experience and stuff really helps my mental health. I think it helps a lot to talk about it.
It does. I've tried to tell people that for the longest time. The first time I ever shared my suicide story,
I never even heard that. I didn't hear that. I would love to hear about that.
I just well, growing up, I was I was always just real confused about I would walk into a room and I just always thought people were talking about me.
Mhm.
Like I just whether it was walking into a lunchroom, a classroom, gym, or whatever. Like I just always was just it was just depression. It was just anxiety.
Yep,
When you learn that nobody actually gives a fuck about you, it's very freeing.
it is.
Like it's no everybody's got their own shit going on. No one has time to actually sit there and be like, what the fuck's he got on? Like,
Yeah.
like nobody gives a fuck about you.
Nope.
Um, and so like I was just in a very dark place coming out of high school. I got in trouble with the law. Was just kind of a fuck up. I wanted to I, for a lesson for all parents, I'm finna give you something right here. Don't let your kid think that they're going to be a professional athlete and they're not going to be one. So, like, I didn't have a backup plan, and there was no chance in hell that I was going to be a professional athlete. I'm 5'10" on a good day, but on a fucking good day, and was not that good of a baseball or football player. I wasn't bad. I wasn't fucking going to a D1 school. And if you're not going to a D1 school, you're not going to play professional sports.
Right.
And I ended up hurting my shoulder my senior year and didn't even get to play. baseball. So I pretty much said fuck it. This was a piece of shit my senior year, and ended up having to get a GED right there. I didn't even go like my last 2 months of school. So coming out of 2016 was when we graduated. This was in a dark, nasty place. I ended up meeting this girl. Thought we had the coolest little love story ever, and it was garbage. Looking back at it, I just would go back and beat the shit out of myself if I could. Just being young and stupid. You don't know no better. That puppy love shit. And anyway, I thought this girl was the best thing ever. Ended up getting in trouble because I was on probation for some stupid shit. Ended up her dad found out about it, couldn't see each other, and long story short, she ended up getting married to somebody else.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just like fucking stupid shit. Well, then at her bachelorette party was at a bar that I was at, and we didn't see each other. In the back of her bachelorette pictures, I'm in every fucking picture. Like it's the weirdest shit ever. So she calls me. It was either on her wedding day or the week after. I can't remember. It's been so long. But she ends up like, this is the weirdest thing ever. Like, this has got to be like fate or whatever, that you're in all these pictures and we didn't see each other. Right. So the stupid thing, of course, we went and saw each other and we shouldn't have. And she ended up leaving her husband. And that was stupid. The stupidest fucking thing that could ever happen to me. Well, then I'm just in love, and she turns out to be just a piece of shit. Like if she was gonna cheat on her husband, she was gonna cheat on me, and it broke my heart, and it just did me in.
Yeah.
And between that, being in trouble with the law, having depression, and not know how to deal with it.
Yep.
And everything was just all piled onto one, and what just kind of put me over the edge. Literally called this girl, phone picks up in her pocket, and she's sleeping with somebody else. Like you literally hear them fixing.
Oh my gosh.
And the only reason why I'm still here is because I'm stupid. I always have to, like, I can make a joke about it now, and it's been whatever year. It's been like 13 years now, so I can joke about it. I took a shit ton of ibuprofen 800 milligrams. If it had been anything else, fucking dead and gone. But also, I can't really figure out what mindset I was in at the time. But I also had sent like a text message to somebody. I think it was my dad or my mom or whatever. It was like, love you. Completely random. They knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
So somebody rushed over there. They called the ambulance. I'm unconscious or whatever.
Oh my God.
So I get to the hospital. They do stomach pump and all that type of shit and everything. Yep. But it was literally, it was my depression. It was fucking, I let a woman get to me. Like it was all this stupid shit. But then that's the first time though, at the age of, I'm 35 now. So what would that have been, like 21, 22? That's the first time though I'd ever heard the word depression.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't talked about a lot. When I was younger, you and I are about the same age. I'm 33. Yeah. So in high school, junior, I think when I was growing up, you and I were growing up, it wasn't common to talk about depression or mental health issues. It was not common. Yeah. It was so taboo.
Yeah. I remember going to whatever, they sent me to some psychiatrist or whatever right thereafter. Yeah. And like, they were like, you're severely depressed. And I was like, no, fuck, I'm not. Like, I'm the life of the party, dude. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, they were like, and then they like broke it down. It was like, when you're alone, do you have these thoughts? And, do you feel this type of way about like all these certain things? Like, I checked off every box you could to be fucking clinically depressed. And like, let's put you on pills. And see, this is why
what they always do.
Yeah. And see, this is why I'm so against them. I have such a big personality. And when I can be loud and I can be me, I'm happy. That shit numbed me. It took the best parts of me away.
Yep.
And that's when I started. I love writing poetry. Like I love just writing stupid shit, whether it makes sense to anybody else or not. I just love writing, and I couldn't do it. Like I didn't do it from the age of middle school to after my suicide attempt. is when I started again. And I stopped for a long time. I got a poem that was published in Young Poets of America when I was in middle school, and the
How
baseball
cool.
and my baseball team found out about it, and I was like, "You faggot!" Like
Oh,
stuff,
I bet they
like picking on me and shit. So I quit writing. I quit writing for the longest time,
Oh,
and
that's
it is. But I joke about it now, and even like some of the boys that I've remained friends with them. Like now, I can make them feel like shit about it. Like so, it's funny now. But I also say that to tell kids and everything, like, don't be fucking bullies. Like, if you got a
yeah,
friend that likes doing that shit, let them fucking do that shit.
absolutely.
So I didn't know any of that about me until the suicide. If it was not for my suicide attempt, I would have kept struggling with it. So it was
Yeah.
actually a blessing that it happened to me.
Yes.
And then I didn't want to be on the medication, so I had to find ways to cope. So I started writing. There was a lot of things. I colored for a little while.
Yes. Coloring is great for
Yeah.
your mind.
Yeah. So like one of the things that I read was you have to do things if you're not going to take medication, you have to do things that you don't depend on anybody else for. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's got to be something that can't let you down.
Right.
So coloring's a big one. Writing, whatever. You can't do anything that's going to frustrate you.
Right. That's what I do. I journal, I read
Yeah.
affirmations, I journal them. Like I said, I do meditation, breathing exercises, positive self-talk. All of that combined has truly changed my mental health and my perspective on life. Even it has really changed.
Well, it brings you back to who you are.
Right.
Yeah, like we get away from it. Like everybody's so guilty of it. Like you get so caught up in life, and you get so caught up in what everybody expects you to be. You kind of forget who the fuck you want to be.
Right.
That shit aggravates me. That's one thing that I teach Gracie is like, look, I don't care what you want to be in life. I don't care what you think I want you to be or what your mom wants you to be. Just be you.
Mm-hmm.
Do what makes you happy. I told the woman, Sarah Blake. I told her the other day because we a lot of women give me shit because I guys don't listen to me. Men fucking hate me. Like my listening audience is like 80% women. And like you'll get a Karen every now and then that'll say some shit to me. They'll be like, you'll have these OnlyFans girls on here. Would you want your daughter to do that shit? And I'd be like, look, I don't give a fuck. Like
if that's what she wants to do.
If it makes my daughter happy, I'm not going to tell anybody how to live their fucking life.
Yep.
Like, why are you worried about somebody else? I'm already going to have a hard enough time getting into heaven. I don't need to be worrying about you fucking getting into heaven.
No.
Like,
right?
Yeah, like worry about your fucking self. I'm not the judge, the jury, or the executioner in your life.
Nope.
Shut the fuck up and move the fuck on. Like,
I talked to my mom, like, well, what would you do? I asked my mom, how would you feel if I made an OnlyFans? And she's like, well, if that's what you really want to do, dig deep inside. And if that's how you want to, make your money, then do what you want. And that's how I am with my kids too.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, first off, it's just like I told her, you can go look at you just go watch television for 5 fucking minutes. You're going to find some good looking woman in a bathing suit advertising for a company that doesn't sell bathing suits. You're going to say, it's sex sales. It's the world we live in.
Because sex does sell and everyone knows it.
And you know what? Is it morally right? Probably not. But you know what? Who cares? We all fuck.
There's a lot of things that aren't morally right, but
yeah, who cares? I mean, there's a difference. If I got a big rule, if it doesn't hurt somebody else and it doesn't involve children in any type of way, and you're not pushing I don't care what anybody believes in this world. I don't care what your sexual orientation is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what your political beliefs are. I don't give a shit. Whatever you want to, you can be one of those motherfuckers that run around dressed up in the furry outfits. Yeah. I don't care what you are. I will respect you as long as you respect me. Just don't push your beliefs on me, and I won't push my beliefs on you.
That's the important part. You can't
Yeah.
You can't push your beliefs. You can't change things. Just you're welcome to, join in, but you can't push things on people. And that's where we're at right now in this society, I think,
Yeah.
is
I've
pushing.
I've had to literally bite my tongue so fucking hard the past couple days, and I still might do. I made one video, but I'm probably still gonna make more. That Jeffrey Marsh guy that has been all over my TikTok the past couple days. The guy that's transitioning and bought tampons and shit.
Yep.
I saw a fucking video a while ago, and he was like, dude was like, straight men are scared of me or whatever. When I walk into a restaurant, they won't even look my way or tell me that I'm pretty. I want it to be like, look here, dude. First off, I've seen some of these trans women. They're fucking hot. It's weird. It's fucking weird. There's nobody that you're gonna meet that like women more than me. I am a pig. I know exactly what I am. I love women. It is my vice. I hate that I am that way. I wish I wasn't as piggish as I am. If you go look, my daughter says all the time when she's around me and I'm looking at TikTok, she says that my For You page needs bleach. Like, because it is nothing but good looking women, country music, and comedy, and pimple popping and ingrown toenails.
Yeah, right.
Pulled.
Put some
That's
pimple
it.
pop.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's literally all it is. But like, I want to make videos and just be like, look, it's not that straight men are scared of you. It's that you know how many women walk into a bar and I acknowledge them. Like you don't want men to these folks, some of these folks that are transitioning or whatever, they want to be superior to women. And I cannot stand that shit. They don't want to be treated as equals. They want you to think that they're special.
I know. And
That's so
stupid. What really hurts me is like, the feminist movement, is like, we need to accept all trans and all this stuff. But the fact of the matter is, in reality, these are men stealing womanhood. It really is.
Yeah.
These are men, and feminists are so against misogyny and stuff, but they're allowing men to change womanhood. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I'm not going to get in trouble because I own my own studio and I own the rights to my show, so I can't get canceled anyway. So they can kiss my fat ass. But, but like, you're right. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why it's being a woman or being a man is special.
Mm-hmm.
Make being a trans special.
And what people fail to recognize is that there are privileges in both being a female and being a male. There's privileges in both. They fail to see those privileges. Women have certain privileges that men don't. Men have certain privileges that women don't. That's just how it is. And we need to embrace that instead of, oh, no, we need equal. We need equal. We're equal. Well, no, we're really not.
Yeah. I would get on a fucking soapbox. See,
I know I can't. I'm like, I can't even. I'll get worked up.
It doesn't take much for me to get mad and ornery, especially the older I get. I now know why old men and old women are so fucking mad and angry all the time.
They don't give a fuck because they're at that point where they just don't anymore.
They had to live with us growing up being like, they're fucking stupid. And now I get it. Because now I got to look at the younger generation, or I got to look at these dumb sons of bitches running around. And it's like, you know what? I understand why my papa, why everybody was just like, I hate them.
Yeah.
Kids these days.
I know it.
It's just everybody's so fucking stupid now. And if everybody would just mind their own fucking business and let everybody be, it would be the most wonderful thing. You're from Florida, right?
I am.
Okay. If we could take all you crazy sons of bitches in Florida, because y'all got some of the most fucked up people on this planet down there.
We do.
I just wish you would let all the psychos, the weird motherfuckers, go to Florida for a month. Just let them hang out at Daytona Beach for a couple of weeks.
Right.
You know what? They'll come back okay. They'll be like, you know what? We don't need to be equal. No, we're going to go get our own little private state somewhere. We're just going to move the fuck away. We're not going to bother anybody again.
Right.
I just don't get why. Ugh. I hate
Oh,
people.
I do too. I get frustrated all the time about this stuff.
If I could post the shit online that I wanted to post,
Yeah, same.
boy, I would either have the biggest account ever or I would get canceled in a
So
fucking
much
heartbeat.
hate. I know.
I don't
Either
really
or.
care. I
I
don't
don't
really. Yeah, I'm over all that shit anyway. If I can't say anymore, that's why I started this show. I got fired from country radio for just being me. All right.
care.
All right. The same reasons they hired me is the
Is the
same
same
reason
they
for
fired
firing
you.
me. Yeah, so
That's
they can, yeah. But it is what it is.
yeah.
But anyway, drop your social media links real fast. And I just want to tell you,
Sure.
it was awesome to have you come hang out for a little bit. Great conversation. And I'm glad that obviously you're still around. And I love the fact that you're spreading the message that you're spreading. And I hope you keep doing it. You're more than welcome here anytime on the show. You and your husband, or whatever you call him, are more than welcome. We take trips all the time. We always tell folks that if y'all ever want to do anything with us as a group, folks are always invited with us. We love
That
doing
would be awesome.
we love doing group shows with people. Having people sit around and hang out and just talk shit. God, they're fucking great.
Right.
Well, cool. We'll drop your social media links and we'll get out of here and enjoy Super Bowl Sunday.
Sure. I'm on TikTok under Natalee, and Natalee has 5 E's at the end. Natalee King with 5 E's. And then my Instagram is Natalee King with 3 E's at the end of Natalee.
Sweet. And I'm gonna tag her and everything, so y'all ought to be easy to find her. But hey, but thank you for hanging out, and hey, keep doing a good job, darling.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, folks. Well, I will see y'all later.